TV3 Sports has come to South Mountain Arena in West Orange for a high school hockey matchup between the Verona Hillbillies and the Millburn Millers. Hello again, everyone. I'm Matt Lachlan, along with me, Pete Caggiano. Pete, this afternoon we'll see a Millburn squad that has turned it around this year. They're 7-3-3. Last year they won just one game.
Coach Ken Smith has done an excellent job with this squad. Last year they had a real tough season. This year they even qualified for the state tournament.
And as I said, they come in at 7-3-3, doing it with a strong defensive effort and with a very young club.
Absolutely. Only 2 starting seniors. Two of their 3 defensemen are freshmen. He has a freshman on the center line. He's doing an outstanding job with a young squad.
All right, one of those seniors will be in net, the last line of defense, Mark Smalden.
Mark Smalden, senior. His brother is a sophomore, plays center on the first line. Mark right now fashioning a 2.4 goals against average. Likes to use the catching glove quite a bit. Very good with his stick, and one of the better skaters on the team.
And the key for this Millburn team will be back checking and keeping the area in front of the net clear so that Smalden can make the stop.
Ken Smith has instructed his team, and everybody knows when you play a powerhouse like Verona, you have to keep the center clear. A goaltender does not want to give up rebound-type goals or screening-type goals, and it'll be up to that young defensive squad to clear out the middle.
Verona comes in at 11-5-1, but a little struggle in the last 2. They've dropped them both.
Although they've lost their last 2, before that they had won 7 in a row. Now Verona is fighting for the Hanshin Cup to qualify for the title. Now they have some stiff competition coming up. Both Hudson Catholic and Paramus Catholic are in their way. They have a big game coming up next week. They have a lot to do. Now this game will not count towards those standings. But again, they've lost 2 in a row. They're looking to get back on a winning track.
Yeah, that's because Verona's a B division team and Millburn's a C division squad. So this game has no effect on Verona's Hanshin Cup possibilities. But like you said, Pete, they want to win and get back in their winning ways. Chris Bellino, he's the center iceman on the first line for this Verona club. There's not much more you have to say other than he leads the state in scoring.
Well, all I can tell you, it's 58 goals for Chris Bellino, the senior center. Again, having another outstanding year. Chris is a perennial all-star in this league.
All right, then he will key this Verona offense, which is averaging better than 6 goals per game against the Millburn Millers. We'll come back with all the action from South Mountain Arena right after this.
She is one of America's toughest drug enforcement agents. She is making a difference in the nation's war on drugs. Last year, she helped convict 90 drug dealers, seize several tons of crack and marijuana, and close down 10 major drug operations in her area. She is a 68-year-old grandmother. Her name is Irma. She set up a community drug watch that is changing her neighborhood. She did it for a lot of reasons, but the 2 most important ones are beside her. There are many ways to help in your community. To find out how, call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
We're back at South Mountain Arena. Matt Lachlan along with Pete Caggiano. The teams have concluded their warm-ups, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's contest between the 7-3-3 Millburn Millers and the 11-5-1 Verona Hillbillies. There's Ken Smith in his 2nd year at the helm of the Millburn Millers. Last year the team won just 1 game, but this year they have rebounded and will make the playoffs. Cutoff for the playoffs, by the way, is Friday, February 6th, or Saturday, February 6th, excuse me, and Verona has qualified along with Millburn. There's Gary Farishin in his 4th year at the helm of the Verona Hillbillies. 45 wins, 29 losses, 3 ties for Farishin in his career at Verona. And standing next to him, his assistant, Joe Bellino, the dad of Chris Bellino. In the net, Mark Smalden for the Millburn Millers. One of the captains, 2.4 goals against average, 2nd team C Division member last year. And the last line of defense, I spoke to him before the game, Pete, and I said, what do you like about being a goalie? And he says, the fact that I am the last line of defense. He's been playing hockey for 8 years, all of them as a goalie.
It takes a certain mentality to play goal, Matt. And usually a goaltender, and there we take a look at Claudine Petruka, it takes a certain mentality. You have to want to have that responsibility on your shoulders. You have to want to be in a situation where the game rides on what you do and how you do it.
And play is underway. The officials, Dave Brown and Jay Butterfield. Millburn going right to left in the white sweaters with the blue trim. Verona going left to right in the mostly maroon sweaters with the white trim.
Puck jumped up into the players' bench area for a stoppage.
Number 15 on your screen for Verona, Chris Bellino. 65 goals last year, 58 already this season. 3 times he has scored 6 goals in a game this year.
That's an outstanding statistic, some that players don't reach in their entire career.
Here is Bellino for Sean O'Neill, risks a shot that goes wide. Bellino centers the line of Sean O'Neill on the right wing and freshman Frank Longo on the left. James Skinner and Tim Goodwin out on defense for Verona. Neil Smalden centers the number 1 line for Millburn. Tim Milton, his left wing. Lee Gamboni, the other captain for Millburn, on the right. Puck along the near boards out to the point. Shot taken on goal, and it's sticked aside by Petruka. Here's Neil Smalden getting the puck once again. Looks to center it. Knocked off the play. Lee Gamboni with it. Centers it in front. It's cleared by Goodwin. And Skinner has it. Up off the boards looking for Longo. It takes a weird bounce and finally is cleared by Bellino.
Matty, as a goaltender, you want that first shot to be an easy one. You want it to come from about 60 feet out and have it to be a routine save.
Tim Milton upended as he cuts in front. Gamboni tries the backhand. Here's Goodwin, or check that, Longo with the clear. Mads Jepsen with it. Jepsen, a junior backliner and alternate captain.
Jepsen this year has 2 goals, 5 assists for 7 points. Does a fine job. He's one of those 3 people that Ken Smith rotates on the defensive line.
Along the far side, David Cascone checked off the play by Alex Strickler. Now behind the net, this is Tim Goodwin. Goodwin plays it along the far side. Strickler pinches in, sends it wide of the net. Goodwin now has it along the near side. Flips it ahead too far for Tom Boyd. Jepsen with it. Jepsen, a native of the Netherlands, has been in this country for about 5 years. Essentially, Millburn will play 3 defensemen. Jepsen, who will stay out for most of the time. Alex Strickler and Peter Doms, a pair of freshmen, will alternate in the back. Here's Cascone, can't handle it, picked up by Gamboni. Gamboni 1-on-2, goes to the backhand side, ridden off the play by Brad Springstead, keeps the puck, plays it in front, a little too far out to the point, shot taken and knocked down in front as Jepsen's shot was going to be on goal, but it was cleared in front. Jepsen with it again, off the skates of Chris Stemlin, picked up by Doms. Doms can't clear it out. Puck kept in, Jepsen has it, and the junior clears it off the boards. Here's Gamboni, backhands it ahead. Here's Gamboni, goes high off the shoulder of Petruka.
A lot of pressure here early by Millburn. This is not what we expected. And Claudine Petruka got the left shoulder just on a piece of that shot, deflected it up over the net. But that was an excellent shot by Millburn.
Here comes Bellino, 1-on-3. Jepsen stays with them all the way, hounds him with the stick. Bellino still has it in front, now loses it, and it's picked up by Neil Smalden. Smalden, the younger brother, only a sophomore, of keeper Mark Smalden. Slapper deflected. Milton shot deflected behind the net. Wyrowski plays it up for Longo. Longo, a freshman, playing left wing on the Bellino line. Gary Farician said he was a little nervous early on, but settled down after a couple of goals. Bellino's centering pass is knocked away by Smalden. Here's Gambino. Gamboni along the left side. Flips it in front. No one there for Millburn. Longo winds it around the board. Goodwin, sophomore defenseman, loves to use the body. Here's Bellino, makes a move around. Doms comes in with a big slap shot that Smalden is able to get a piece of.
That time Bellino tried to go to the short side, low stick, and his shot was just off the side of the net. Nice opportunity, but again, Mark Smalden playing very smart goaltending, came out, broke down the angle, did not give him a whole lot to shoot for.
End-to-end action. We have not had a stoppage in play. Here's Carter. Shot cleared by Jepson, away from Smaldone. Now Springstead. Senior defenseman, can't get it out. Boyd tries to clear it. Pinching in is David Tepper. And now finally Chris Blum comes away with it for Peterson. This is Brian Peterson, a sophomore. Smalden stops it and holds on. So our first stoppage, Pete. 9:57 remaining in the opening period.
We went through a little over 5 minutes. Good end-to-end action. There you take a look at the senior goaltender, Mark Smalden. He made a few good plays in the opening few minutes. Coming out, breaking down the angle on Chris Bellino, stopping a centering pass by Bellino from the side, deflecting it before it came in front. There's a reason why Ken Smith told us he was the key to the game, and it's showing.
Puck along the far side. Boyd checked by Strickler. Puck is now cleared into center ice. Freshman Chris Blum with it, sends it in. Delayed offside, now waved off. Jepson with it, sends it cross ice. Tepper has it taken away by Boyd. Boyd tries to make a move. Jepson gets back into defense. Jepson likes to use the body. Out to the point, Blum with the shot. A riser that sails off the backboards. Springstead able to keep it in. And a shot dead on that Smalden has trouble with the rebound, but it's clear. Jepson trying to headman it out. Gets it into center ice. And now here comes Brad Springstead. 3-on-2 for the Hillbillies. Now a 2-on-2 as they make a change. Peterson going to the bench. Strickler doing a good job of riding Springstead off the puck. Real fine defensive effort by the freshman Alex Strickler.
I am very impressed with the defense of Millburn. You have to be impressed with Jepson. He's been out there the entire 6 minutes so far, but more important, he knows what he has to do.
Longo slapper goes wide. Smalden loses the stick, now recovers it. Back in the net. Here's Bellino in the corner. Plays it out in front. Here comes Neil Smalden, taken out of the play by Longo.
Ooh, that could have been a trip, Matt. He stuck his skate out and caught him foot to foot. And many times that is called tripping. But that time they got away with it. I mentioned before about the play of Mads Jepson, the junior. What he does, he knows he's going to be out there for almost the entire game. So he doesn't do a lot of the things other defensemen do as far as rushing the puck and taking an offensive posture during the game. He stays back and he plays a solid, controlled defensive game.
Although he does, when he has the opportunity, like to go coast to coast. Here's Neil Smalden with the steal for Gamboni in front. Petruka comes up with the save.
Very nice pass work by Millburn. They just couldn't finish off on the play. That time, from about 15 feet out, dead in front, the wrist shot. And we can take a look at this play. You'll see, there's the pass. See, he loses his balance. Petruka battling in front and then holds on for the whistle.
Tim Milton, the sophomore, 13-goal scorer in front for Millburn. He is the leading goal scorer. Lee Gamboni and Neil Smalden have the most points. Gamboni 11 goals, 8 assists, 19 points. Smalden 5 goals, 14 assists for 19 points. Here comes Bellino down the center of the ice. Makes a nice move, but it's cleared by Doms. I don't know if Doms knew what he did, but he was able to clear it away.
Well, what Doms did is he played the man. He didn't watch the puck. He was going to stay in front of Bellino. It didn't matter where the puck went. And you're right, he did get a break. The puck was stopped by his skate, and that forced Bellino to turn around and come back. Now we have an icing, and that'll bring the faceoff all the way back deep inside the Verona end.
With 7:26 to play in the opening period, there's Ken Smith. His team, when they score, they don't lose. Their 3 losses have been by shutout. When they score, they're 7-0-3. They are stingy on defense, giving up just 2.5 goals per game. However, they only average 3.5 goals per game, so they concentrate on the defensive side of things. And I think any coach trying to build a program would say that's where you have to begin.
Absolutely, and I'd say it's working so far tonight. I would guess Verona has somewhere in the neighborhood of about 5 shots on goal so far, and only one has been a tough save for Mark Smaldone.
Here's Greg Carter centering it in front. Boyd taken down, no call. And the puck is cleared all the way down, and we're going to have an icing, which is called automatically in high school. 7:01 remaining in the first period. I'm Matt Lachlan along with Pete Caggiano. We're at South Mountain Arena for this afternoon's contest between the Verona Hillbillies and the Millburn Millers. And Pete, the crowd is spread out a little bit in this facility, but giving the time that this game started, not too bad.
Well, it's always tough trying to get a crowd at a 4 o'clock game on a weekday. When you come in here for some of the weekend games, this past weekend, or I should say a weekend ago, the Toms River North and Seton Hall game was played here, and they had about 1,000 people here.
5-5 tie. Game in which Matt Sheehan, the Seton Hall goalie, stopped 31 shots, including a dead-on shot with 5 seconds left.
Matt, that save was so phenomenal. As you well know, I was refereeing that game, and as an official, you are instructed to blow the whistle when the shot goes in the net. And when I heard my colleague blow the whistle after the shot was taken, I thought he was blowing the whistle because Toms River North had scored. He blew the whistle because the goaltender had caught the puck. That was a tremendous game, and he definitely saved the game with the goal, with the save with 5 seconds to go.
Offside the call as Cascone brings it in. Boyd offside on the near win. The freshman just unable to keep across the line.
Again, that's good defense by Millburn. They're stringing out the Verona players at the blue line, not allowing the Verona guys to come directly over the line, making them go wide, go laterally, and consequently forcing an offside.
Alex Strickler out on defense along with Mads Jepsen.
You mentioned Strickler, one of the freshmen. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points this year.
Smaldon wins the face against Bellino. Puck cleared up along the boards, chopped back in by Goodwin. Here's Jepsen to center ice, looking for Gamboni. Goodwin just outside the blue line, flips it ahead, but over the stick of Bellino. Strickler clears it down. A little dump and chase action by the Millburn Millers. They are content to play defense here. We are scoreless, 5:43 to go in the opening period. Sophomore James Skinner plays it up the board. Neil Smaldon with a shot that's sticked aside by Petruka. Here comes Bellino. 2-on-3, has O'Neill to his right. Strickler tries to defend against Bellino. Bellino behind the net, loses control. Played up along the boards. Gamboni checked hard by O'Neill. Puck still free. Strickler clears ahead to Milton. Here comes Tim Milton, the sophomore winger. Soft shot deflected from behind by O'Neill as it goes wide. Goodwin trying to clear, knocked down by Neil Smaldon, but Sean O'Neill picks up. 3-on-2, Bellino with it. Goes to the left side, takes a sharp shot that Smaldon's able to stop. Longo with it in the corner, watched by Gamboni, now checked into the boards. Neil Smaldon winds it around the boards. Goodwin at the point. Flips it ahead for O'Neill, who lets it go to Bellino. Bellino with it in the circle. Comes in front, risks a shot that's sticked aside.
Excellent save by Mark Smaldone. That time Bellino kept the puck right on the ice, went to the low stick side, but Smaldone used the right leg and kicked it away.
Lifted clear, but now not out as O'Neill is able to keep it in. Bellino with it at the point. Moving in with the move. Still with it, and now knocked off the puck by Jepsen. Puck in the corner. Jepsen can't pick it up. Trying to clear it is Strickler. It's deflected now behind the net where the freshman picks it up. Milton into the neutral zone. Flipping it ahead as Verona makes a change. Here's Gamboni looking for a man in front. Nobody there. Checked by Goodwin. Gamboni, who moved up from defense to a forward position, has been an important part of this Millburn resurgence this year. Gamboni still with it, fighting with Goodwin. The puck in the corner picked up by Greg Carter. Carter slaps it along the boards all the way down. No icing called. Smaldon winds it around. Peter Doms tries to clear it but cannot. Flipped in front and now cleared by Jepsen.
Matty, if we can, a little later, if we can get a shot from our camera on top so you can see the positioning of the Millburn players. What we're seeing here is a team very well coached, may not have the greatest skating ability, but what they do is they play position. And there's a guy who's been playing the entire game, Mads Jepsen, the junior defenseman, and he knows that he doesn't have to look. He's going to have a forward halfway up the boards and just throw the puck there because that's where his teammate's going to be to take the pass.
Off the face-off, puck comes down Millburn's end. Peter Doms on with Strickler on defense for Millburn. A pair of freshmen out on defense for the Millers. Here's David Tepper trying to play it ahead for Stemland, intercepted by Boyd. Boyd's pass too far for Friedberg. Doms trying to clear it up the board. Backhand cleared by McGrath. Here's Springstead at center ice. Sends it in. Delayed offside, waved off. Strickler with it. Now plays it off of Stemland, and as the puck stays in the end, Doms has to hustle it up to get it out of there. Sluggish play, perhaps, on the part of the Verona Hillbillies, caused by this solid defensive effort by the Millburn Millers. A frustrating style, fundamentally sound, not taking chances, and that can wear you down after a while.
Matt, you can listen. You can hear Ken Smith yelling, pick a man, take a man. He's constantly talking to his forwards and his defensemen to cover someone at all times. This way nobody's open and nobody gets the free shot.
2:07 to go in the first period. Matt Lachlan along with Pete Caggiano. Lee Gamboni on the breakout. 2-on-3, now joined 3-on-3 by a teammate. Centering pass cleared by Petruka. Puck in front. Gamboni fans on it, tries it again, wrists it toward goal, stopped by Petruka. Here's Gamboni a third time, another save, and it's stuffed home by Smaldone. Neil Smaldon with the goal, his 6th of the year.
Neil with the goal, but the play was made by the first shot, the shot that hit the post. And I didn't quite get a number. I think it was Lee Gamboni's shot. Neil Smaldone will get the goal, but it was Lee Gamboni's first shot that hit the post. We'll take a look. Yes, there it is right there. And then the puck's laying right there in the crease for Neil, the sophomore, the brother of Mark. And he scores his 6th goal of the year, his 20th point of the season. And Millburn jumps out to a 1-0 advantage.
And that comes at 13-13 of the first period. 6th goal of the year for Smaldon. Gamboni's 9th assist, Milton's 5th of the year, and it's 1-0. And if the trend of this season continues, that means that Millburn has wrapped up at least a tie, because when they score, they do not lose.
That's what it's been so far. But again, it was the hard work, and you notice we talked earlier in the open about how Millburn wanted to clear out the center of the ice, take away the rebounds, the second and third shot, and that's exactly what happened there. Claudine Petruka made the first save, the second shot hit the post, and then the third shot went in. You can't expect the goaltender to stop more than 1 or 2 in a situation like that.
Strickler keeps it in at the point, sends it wide behind the net. Good win for the Hillbillies, can't control. Here's Milton playing it out in front. Strickler backhands it to keep the pressure on with 1:09 remaining in the first period. Here's Sean O'Neill ahead for Bellino. Bellino breaking out along the right wing, now cuts to center ice. Bellino with it, has it checked off his stick nicely by Strickler. Puck in the corner, Gamboni and O'Neill combine. Puck now behind the net, picked up by Jepsen, runs into Longo. Bellino has it, flips it out in front, sticked aside by Gamboni. Bellino has a man open, finds O'Neill, the blast. I think that might have gone off the post.
Either that or the side of the net, low to the glove side. It was close.
Bellino still with it, out to the point for Skinner. Wrists one ahead, almost deflected in by Longo off the skate. I don't know if he would have been credited for a goal as Smaldon falls on it. It looks like he tried to direct it in with the skate rather than just have it accidentally occur.
Matt, what I've noticed, and I watched Chris Bellino 3 times so far this game, when he comes down the middle, and this we'll take a look at some of the action. This is the wraparound shot that at first Mark Smaldone held on and then scored it free after the whistle. But in watching Chris Bellino, I'm not sure if he's going to his power side, his forehand side, his left side, because Mads Jepsen's playing is on his right, or because that's his power side. If he is consistent and only goes to his power side, he's going to become very readable. And when you start playing in the against the better teams, or next year when he moves on to college, he's not going to get away with that. He's going to have to start going to his backhand side in order to beat defensemen.
17 seconds remaining in the first period. 1-0 Millburn on top. Long clear will result in an icing call, as Milton just wanted to get it out of there. But we'll come back the other way for a face-off with 8 seconds remaining.
Obviously, Verona with their top line of Longo, Bellino, and O'Neill on the ice. Let's see if Bellino tries to pull the puck back or if he goes forward with it.
Well, now Tom Boyd has come out on a wing with Bellino centering Boyd and O'Neill. Springstead and Blum on the defense. Jepson, or check that, Gamboni tries to clear. Puck in front, cleared by Smalden as the buzzer sounds. So, a good first period for the Millburn Millers. They get a goal from Neil Smalden at 13-13 to take a 1-0 lead after one. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with more. Stay with us.
There is a mighty spirit shining out.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. In Hope, New Mexico, people turned an abandoned school into a thriving community center. In Boston, Massachusetts, neighbors set up a crime hotline that's making their streets safer. From Seattle to Galveston, from Buffalo to Fargo, every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Contact the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Claudine Petruka as Milton came through. Bellino at center ice has O'Neill to his right. Bellino with it, plays it in front, and it's a goal! The goal will be credited to Sean O'Neill.
But I think it deflected off number 28, Alex Strickler. And I'm not sure who they're going to give this goal to. They may give it to Bellino because it was Bellino's centering pass that was deflected in.
21-15.
21-15, you hear the official in the background calling, so that means Sean O'Neill picks up his 16th goal of the year, and it's 1-1.
There you saw quickly the replay, and that time Mark Smalden had no chance as the puck deflected off Alex Strickler, the freshman, and we are tied at 1.
So just that quickly, the game is knotted at 1. We've played less than a minute in the first period.
And Matty,
Neil Smalden.
I was going to say, it's no secret. We knew all the while that Verona is explosive.
6 goals a game they average. Here's Milton with a big slap shot that Petruka is able to steer into the corner.
I'm not sure if this is something they discussed earlier, but 2 long shots against Petruka, and she handled both well.
Here's Carter, winding it around the boards for Boyd. Boyd puts on the brakes, looking for somebody in front. Strickler knocks it away. Boyd has it again, tries to play it out to the corner for Springstead, and instead it is cleared by Milton.
There again, the good positioning by Milton, halfway up the boards, just where he's supposed to be.
Boyd with it, the freshman. With the shot, deflected by Jepson. Boyd with it again. Jepson takes him out in the corner. Cascone behind the net. Around the boards it comes. Played up but not out as Blum keeps it in. Blum not able to keep this one in, and it comes all the way down. 2 minutes gone by in the second period. We are tied at 1. Here comes Brad Springstead up the middle, flipping it ahead for Bellino. Bellino with a burst of speed across the blue line, goes to his left, centering pass, knocked away by Jepson.
Again, Matt, Bellino going to his forehand side. When he does that, though, he looks for O'Neal, and Sean O'Neal knows the puck's coming.
Slapper by Bellino, knocked down by Strickland in front for Springstead, couldn't get his stick on it. Springstead with it again for O'Neal, looking to flip it in front, deflected by Smalden. Springstead with it, chopped at by Jepson. In front, Bellino stopped by Smalden, cleared into the corner. Springstead for O'Neal in front. The shot kick save made by Smalden.
We are seeing some excellent goaltending here. 2 great saves by Mark Smalden.
Jepson winds it behind the net. Gamboni tries to clear it, but he sends it over the boards and out. And we'll have a face-off.
Here we take a look at the senior goaltender. 2.4 goals against average. He made 2 brilliant saves. We can take a look at some of that action around the net. Watch as the puck is chipped into the corner. Now you're going to see the save he makes on Bellino right there. First one by going down into the butterfly. Now the second shot by O'Neal. Watch the right skate as he extends the right leg and then deflects the rebound into the corner. Outstanding.
Carter to face off with Stemlin. The face-off won by Verona. Carter chops at it. Cascone in the corner. Plays it out in front for Boyd, who couldn't get his stick on it. Skinner keeps it in for Boyd in the corner. Out in front. It comes all the way through. And cleared all the way down by Tucker McGrath. This will be an icing. And Verona has picked up the pace here in the early going of the second period.
They've picked up the pace and obviously picked up the pressure. There we take a look at Gary Farisian, coach of Verona.
1-1-hour score. We have 11:49 to go in the second period.
And Gary, of course, the fashion play. Take a look at that tie.
Beautiful tie.
I'm sure between periods, between the first and second, he just told his boys to settle down. When you average 6 goals a game, they happen somewhere between minute 1 and minute 45. It doesn't always have to happen in the first 15 minutes. And with the pressure they're putting on here, I'm sure a few more will come.
Gary also had a chance to scout this Millburn team on Saturday, and I'm sure he realized that they were not very deep, and he had to let his team know that we can allow the game to come to us. Our depth will benefit us as the game progresses.
Absolutely, Matt. He is rotating 3 lines, while Ken Smith is rotating 2 lines and only 3 defensemen. Come the third period, that'll take its toll.
Peterson along the far side, flipping it up for Boyd, jumps over his stick. This is Jepson. Bangs it off the board for Tucker McGrath. McGrath had the only goal on Saturday in the 1-1 tie with West Orange. Well-played game. We have not had a penalty. Very few stops in play. A fast-moving game. 1-1-hour score. Here comes Greg Carter along the left wing. Goes past 2 men. Carter still with it. Flips it in front. A little too far for O'Neal. Carter with it again. Loses control and cleared by Gamboni.
Credit Mads Jepson for that play. He tied up O'Neal's stick so that O'Neal could not get a handle on that pass in front.
Milton in front, too far. And here comes Bellino. Millburn looking to get back on defense. Bellino goes to the forehand side, sends it on goal, stopped by Smalden, and he covers up.
Again, Bellino came down one-on-one, went to the forehand, but again, watch the goaltending by Mark Smalden. He went with the play, moved to his right, as we see right there, the cut to the center. Notice how when Mark Smalden moved to his right, he dragged his left leg. By keeping that left leg extended behind him, smart shot by Chris Bellino. He tried to go back to the far side, but a better save by Mark Smalden.
Springstead shot goes wide. Bellino has been shut out twice this year, earlier in the season against Hudson Catholic and then most recently against Toms River East. But it is rare that you're able to keep the prolific scorer off the board. Strickler behind the net, looking for Gamboni. Gamboni and Bellino struggling in the corner, out for Springstead at the point. Winds up, takes the shot that Smalden stops. Rebound shot, he stops again as O'Neal tries to wrap around in front. Another save by Smalden as Bellino is stopped once again, and Mark Smalden is acquitting himself quite well.
You don't get much better than that, Matt. Point blank, Bellino had to be no more than 5 to 7 feet out. He tried to let the shot go quick, low to the glove side, but again, the left pad of Mark Smalden, Johnny on the spot, kicked the rebound out. We'll take a look at it. There's the action in front. The first save, not a wraparound attempt. Now watch right there. Quickly he goes down into that butterfly a la Tony Esposito and makes the save.
Tony Esposito, Phil Esposito, brother combination. Are you saying the Smaldens, as we look at Joe Bellino, Verona's assistant coach, looking on? Are you saying there's a little similarity there?
Absolutely. I'd bet anything. These guys put the rollerblades on and play in the driveway every day. Brother against brother trying to beat the other guy.
Boyd in the corner, tries to come in front, taken away by Jepson, who tries to clear, but it's kept in by Goodwin. Goodwin flips it into the corner, Adam Friedberg with it. Friedberg looking for somebody in front, sends it in front, and we're going to have a penalty called. Our first penalty of the game as Boyd was taken down in front on the hook, and it'll be Jepson who will be going out.
It looks like it's going to be Jepson. There we see Dave Brown, our official, making the call. And it's going to be a hooking penalty.
So our first power play opportunity in this contest for either team. And for Millburn fans, for Coach Ken Smith, their top defenseman is the one who's going to sit it out.
Absolutely. This is not the guy you want going off. We'll see what happened as Verona tried to get position in front of the net. Right there you see Jepson could have been checking from behind, could have been interference. Hook. Oh, we have a little problem with the penalty clock here as we hear the official and the official scorer talking. What they're going to have to do is probably work it off the game clock, which will mean if no goal is scored at the 6:53 mark, Madge Jepson will be able to come out. Just said the same thing.
So Bellino will take the face-off for Verona. Frank Longo and Sean O'Neal the wings. Goodwin and Skinner at the defense. It'll be Strickler out on the ice along with Lee Gamboni, Neil Smalden, and Tim Milton.
A real test here for Millburn.
Smalden has done very well on the face-offs, going against Bellino. This one won by Bellino. Back to Goodwin. The shot goes wide. Mads Jepson off 2 minutes for hooking. Power play opportunity for Verona. We are tied at 1. Millburn led 1-0 after 1. And an early second period goal tying things up. Sean O'Neal scoring his 16th of the year. Here's Bellino at center ice. Behind the net. Watched by Gamboni. Don't forget, Gamboni was a defenseman before being moved to offense this year. Moved up front to the right wing where he has flourished, but he's got a defensive presence, a defensive mind. Milton taking a chance there, not able to come up with the puck. O'Neal with it. Skinner open for a moment. Here's Bellino in the corner looking for O'Neal, still with it. Cross-ice pass for Skinner. Tries to settle. And a save made by Smalden on Bellino. And Smalden holds on, and we'll have a face-off.
Few strange bounces through that power play. Good job by Verona to work the puck around, but again, watch the puck stays on the perimeter. That's the first in-close shot. And Bellino with a quick rebound shot, and that time Smalden had to jump on the rebound. But credit Millburn doing a good job keeping Verona on the outside. The one shot was not a strong shot, never made the goal. And it was only the quick reaction of Bellino to jump on the rebound.
1:02 remaining in the power play opportunity for Verona. Bellino wins the face-off again. But Milton has it now taken away by O'Neal. Gamboni trying to clear, kept in by Springstead. O'Neal along the far boards, in the corner for Bellino, looking to set it up. Bellino moving toward the circle. Behind the net for O'Neal, gets it back, and a save made by Smalden. Puck loose in front. Beautiful give and go employed by Verona, but Smalden able to come up big once again. Bellino behind the net. O'Neal camped in front. He gets it to O'Neal, and the save made by Smalden.
I don't think we have to wait. I think we can, as you see, congratulations from his teammate. Mark Smalden doing a tremendous job stopped O'Neal point blank. Notice how they set up behind the net as the puck is taken by Bellino, and he looks around to see who's free. Watch the quick pass, quick shot, the save. Now he doesn't know where it is, and then he has to pounce on it.
Mark Smalden showing why Ken Smith so high on him and why he won second team C division honors. How he wasn't named first team, I don't know.
He's playing outstanding tonight. He's playing better than a first team player tonight.
Bellino on the backhand side in the corner for Longo. Verona still on the power play. 17 seconds remaining in the power play. Off the deflection, puck off the back glass. Longo behind the net for Bellino. Gamboni tries to clear it, and he does. And that'll just about do it for the power play opportunity. 3 seconds remaining. Jepson now steps out, and the power play is over. So Millburn able to stay tied at 1-1. Now a near giveaway that Carter wasn't able to handle, as Strickler just basically handed it to him. But Millburn able to hold off this high-powered Verona offense as they were a man down, and we stayed tied at 1 with 6:35 to go in the second period. In our intermission between second period and the third period, my guest will be John Warshaw, the Seton Hall prep hockey coach, and recently won his 250th career game. Tom Boyd all alone, fans on it, now takes a shot that Smalden is able to stop. Bodies on the ice, Cascone trying to center it, intercepted by Neil Smalden, ahead for Gamboni, breaking in on Petruka. The shot goes wide.
I think he broke his stick, Matt, as he tossed it to the side. That's why the shot had no steam on it.
And we have an offside call. So the face-off will come outside the zone. 5:57 remaining in the second period. Matt Lachlan along with Pete Caggiano. That's Tom Boyd, the freshman, played fullback this year on the freshman team. Or excuse me, quarterback this year on the freshman team. A transfer from Glen Ridge.
Matt, you have to give credit to this Verona team. On that power play, they worked very well. They worked give and go the one time. They worked the centering pass from behind the net. They did everything you want to do, except they didn't put the puck in the net.
And that's because senior Mark Smalden has been on top of his game. Cascone fighting along with Tepper. Goodwin pinching in, puck in front. Tepper tracking it down for Millburn. Flipping it up into center ice. Skinner playing it ahead, but too far. Here's Cascone, David Cascone making his way in, ridden off the play. Carter comes in through a crowd. The puck is deflected by Jepson, who comes away with it and whips it off the boards all the way down for an icing.
Obviously, he's just looking for a whistle because he's tired. But again, 2 excellent plays by Matt Jepson. First time Dave Cascone, the junior with 12 goals, 10 assists for 22 points, poke checked the puck away from him. Then it came back out, and the second shot he deflected, so it never reached the goaltender. Taking a well-deserved rest right now. He'll probably sit in there for about a minute and then come back and play the last 4 minutes of the period.
I asked Ken Smith, what is MADS short for? He said, MADS. He said, it's just MADS. It's not short for anything else. M-A-D-S, MADS Jepson, playing a very fine game at defense, the junior for Millburn. On the bench now is Strickler and Doms are on defense, a pair of freshmen. Puck in front, and Smalden does the smart thing, covering up. Face-off will come to his left. Longo, O'Neal, Bellino on the ice, along with Wyrofsky and Springstead for Verona.
I'd like to see the shots on goal for this period.
It was 9-3 after 1 in favor of Millburn, or check that, in favor of Verona. Neil Smalden on the face with Bellino. Smalden centering the line of Gamboni and Milton. Jepson back on the ice for Millburn. Here's Bellino, shutout thus far. Does have an assist, I should say. Shutout in terms of scoring a goal, but does have an assist. Assisted on the O'Neal goal, the game-tying goal. 1-1 our score, 4:40 to play in the second period. Freshman Frank Longo, cross-ice pass for O'Neal. Let's go with the blast that Jepson is able to stop in front. Puck is loose in front. Gamboni playing it, but not out. Springstead with the slap shot, deflected by Jepson again. O'Neal centering it for Bellino, but too far, and it comes across ice. Milton across the blue line. Nice move, taken down, no whistle. Wyrowski backhands it. Neil Smalden keeps it in, flips it in behind the net. Springstead playing it along the near side. Gamboni centers it, no one there. Springstead, senior defenseman, trying to play it up for Bellino, intercepted by Smalden. And now Bellino comes away with it. Racing to the left side. And a nice check by Gamboni. Bellino picks it back up, however. Bellino, the wraparound try is stopped by Smalden. O'Neal chops at it. It goes into the stands, and we'll have a face-off with 3:38 remaining in the second period.
Again, Mads Jepson getting in the way of every shot, or almost every shot, that Verona takes. Ken Smith said his game plan was to clear out the middle, to give his goaltender a clear shot at seeing the puck and to alleviate the rebounds. And the other nice thing that Millburn is doing, because we keep talking about the good defense of Millburn, we're not overlooking the good defense of Verona, but Verona is the high-scoring team. They are the ones we expected to put points up on the board today. And it's because of the good defense of Millburn they're not doing it. But every one of the Millburn players, from forward to defenseman, are coming back and making their check. They're not necessarily physically taking the guy out of the play, but they're tying the stick up.
Boyd walks in front and taken off the play as the puck comes to the neutral zone. Well, one other thing about the Verona defense, it's not that we're not talking about it, it's just that Millburn really hasn't had a lot of opportunities, so the defense does not seem to be as strong. But Verona has been peppering Smalden with shots, and the defense has been able to do a good job in keeping this at a 1-1 game.
But you credit Ken Smith for knowing his players, knowing the ability of his players, and then formulating a game plan that'll work in using the skills and the abilities of his players to the best advantage.
Carter walks in. Jepson stops it. Loose puck. Quick shot taken by Peterson that Smalden got a piece of, and now he'll cover up on the side. Doesn't get the whistle, so he lays it off for a teammate. Sent back in, and we have an offside as Peterson couldn't get back onside, so the face-off will come out at center ice.
As we mentioned earlier, Matt, this is Ken Smith's second season here at Millburn, but for 3 years previous, he was the coach at Montclair Kimberly Academy, a team that we've had on TV3 quite a few times over the past few years. Always a strong, powerful team, and Ken, again, has adjusted his style to fit a younger team, a little less mature team, and doing a fine job at it.
1 win last year, already 7 victories this year, 7-3-3. They've qualified for the state playoffs. Blum for Springstead, ahead for Bellino. Bellino has Longo on his right, takes it himself. Smalden with the save, clears the rebound to his brother Neil, who sends it along the boards. Springstead keeps it in, it goes past O'Neal into the corner. 2:03 to go in the second period. Bellino wins the fight in the corner, still with it, and now taken away by the Millers. Here comes Blum, and now we get an offside. Puck came out into the neutral zone before Blum carried it back in. So the clock stops with 1:50 to play in the second period. John Warshaw, my guest between periods. Seton Hall Prep having another good campaign.
John, one of the fine ambassadors to hockey here in New Jersey. Been around a long time, ever since I can remember.
He'll be glad to hear that. You're aging him here.
He knows he's old, but he's a legend. You can be old and still be a legend.
It's hard to be a legend otherwise, I really think. You know, you can be a legend in your own mind, but certainly John is one of the true legends of high school hockey. Recently won his 250th game.
That's, I think the only person he trails is Bob Oriyama for the amount of victories in New Jersey high school ice hockey.
Here's Neil Smalden. Pachuca with the save, but Milton puts it home.
The sophomore Tim Milton scores his 14th of the year as he jumps on the rebound. That time Claudine Pachuca had no chance. And they're going to give the assist to Neil Smalden for Neal. That's his second point of the evening. And for Tim Milton, his 14th goal of the year to go along with 4 assists for 18 points. There you see the first shot, the rebound. Notice there were 2 Millburn players there. Lee Gamboni also parked right in front, but it was Tim Milton popping home the rebound, and with just a little over a minute to go, Millburn leading this game 2-1.
They take advantage of the few opportunities they have. They lead 2-1 here with a minute to go in the second period. Puck cleared into the penalty box, which has been relatively empty. Just 1 penalty called so far in the first 2 periods. That against Mads Jepsen for hooking. And Millburn was able to hold off Verona during that man-down situation.
There we take a look at the sophomore, Tim Milton. Probably is one of the hardest shots on the team. At that time, all you saw was the quickness of his shot as he was able to jump on the loose puck as it sat about 4 or 5 feet outside the line.
Face-off controlled by the Millers. And we're going to have a penalty called as Jepsen was clearing the puck. He was run into up high, and I think a high sticking is going to be the call against Sean O'Neill.
This is Jay Butterfield.
21 Brown, high stick.
The penalty will go against Verona, Sean O'Neill. Sean, with the goal this evening for Verona, will now sit, if no goal is scored, the last 53 seconds here of the second period, and then 1:07 of the third.
So a man-up situation as we look at O'Neill in the penalty box. Here's Boyd taking the shot that Smalden stops. Jepsen is it knocked away from behind by Boyd, but he recovers. Backhanding it all the way down. James Skinner with it. He clears to the Millburn blue line. Milton, cross-ice pass for Gamboni. 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Man-up situation for Millburn. They lead 2-1. Boyd breaking in. Jepsen back. Takes the shot that Smalden stops. Jepsen for Gamboni. Backhands it into the neutral zone. Puck deflected. And now finally picked up by Gamboni. 3 seconds remaining in the period, and the buzzer sounds in the background, and that'll do it. So Millburn maintains its 1-goal lead.
I think Verona has to be worried right about now. They've thrown just about everything against Mark Smaldone, and he's stopped them all except one. And that young fellow's going to have a nice rest in between periods. He deserves it.
He does indeed. He has been tested, but has come up big, and even the goal scored by O'Neill was not his fault.
Nope, deflected off the stick of his defenseman, Andy Strickler. So far, the shots coming off the Verona sticks. Not one has beaten him this evening.
2-1 our score after 2 in favor of Millburn. Stay with us when we come back. John Warshaw will be my guest. We'll talk about his career in hockey and his 1992-93 edition of the Seton Hall Pony Pirates. So stay with us.
Environmental protection begins at home. For information on how you can help save the planet, contact Zero Population Growth.
It happens to everyone. Here we go. Welcome back to South Mountain Arena, everyone. I'm Matt Laughlin, joined by Seton Hall Prep hockey coach John Warshaw. John, congratulations on a milestone you achieved the other night, career win 250.
Thanks a lot, Matty. It was an exceptional award. I was really pleased with my team because they presented it to me with a big game winner. Usually you play a soft team, but here we played a real great team when we played Albany Academy, and it meant a little bit more to me.
You've been involved with this sport for such a long time at a bunch of different levels. Why do you maintain your relationship with this game?
Well, mainly I enjoy working with the kids, and whatever experience I have, I like to pass it on to them.
Now, Seton Hall this year, well regarded as always. Tell us a little bit about this year's team.
Well, we have a well-balanced team this year. I can actually put 3 lines on the ice, and they're always working together, and that's what's been successful about our team.
And they're gelling at the right time as we approach the Gordon Cup and the state playoffs.
Yes, they are, and I hope they can continue to do so.
All right, John, congratulations on that win, and best of luck to you and the Pirates the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, Matt.
John Warshall, the veteran head coach of the Seton Hall Prep Pony Pirates. We'll be back with more right after this.
Do you know that 3 out of 4 who file a tax return get a refund from the IRS?
Is that right? I didn't know that. It's really great news.
It pays to file now.
I'm Rue McClanahan with People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, encouraging you to use your voice to stop animal suffering. Contact us today to find out how.
2 1-hour score after 2 periods, and as we begin this 3rd period, Millburn will have a man-up situation for 1:07 as Sean O'Neill continues to sit it out for the high sticking penalty incurred late in the 2nd period.
Right now we're looking at a Millburn team that has to be happy with their play so far through 2 periods, but they know that the job in front of them is big. I'm sure the 15-minute rest was just what they needed. It recharged their batteries a little bit, but they cannot let up. They have to continue to play that strong defense, the kind of hockey that got them the close score so far and has gotten them the 1-goal lead.
It was 1-0 after 1. Sean O'Neill made it 1-1 30 seconds into the 2nd period on the assist to Chris Bellino. And then Millburn took the 2-1 lead on this goal by Tim Milton.
You're going to see the shot come right there, the first shot, the save. And now watch right there in front. He jumps on the rebound, and for Tim Milton, his goal, 14th of the year, and that gives Millburn the 2-1 advantage.
And that came at 13:38. Ken Smith with the big gulp of water. We hope you enjoyed our interview with John Warshall between the 2nd and 3rd periods.
Matt, John is a very modest fellow. I made a joke earlier about him being old. John's not old.
Young at heart.
Very young at heart. John runs the entire Devils youth program here. He is still a referee besides being a coach. John is as much involved with hockey in this building and in North Jersey now as he was 20 years ago.
Fresh ice surface as the Zamboni machine was out between the 2nd and 3rd period. And so that should benefit the faster skating Verona Hillbillies. Millburn on a power play. Shot from the point by Jepson, deflected by Carter. It's behind the net. Goodwin and Neil Smalden fighting for it out near the point, and Jepson cannot keep it in. 36 seconds remaining on the O'Neill penalty. Greg Carter chasing Jepson behind the net. Mads Jepson, who comes off the ice for just very brief stretches, headmans the rush, sends it in, and circles back. Slapper from the point, and Milton only got a piece of it. Greg Carter brings it into the neutral zone.
Puck was on its edge, was rolling a little bit, and that's why Milton wasn't able to get all on that shot.
Penalty to O'Neill comes to an end as Gamboni sends a shot that's sticked into the corner by Petruka. Neil Smalden with the big slapper, deflected by Carter. Now the puck behind the net. Gamboni with it, checked by Goodwin. Goodwin not a big player, but sacrifices his body and plays the physical game. Boyd can't control along the far side, and the puck comes out to center ice. Here's O'Neill. Jepson the only player back, and Jepson takes the man, and the weak shot is stopped by Smalden.
Again, Mads Jepson forcing O'Neill to the outside. That time O'Neill was smart enough to get the shot off. We're going to take a look at this play. Watch O'Neill go to his power side. O'Neill, knowing that Jepson was coming up, got the shot off quickly. Looks like a little blood on the front of Mads Jepson's shirt. I'm not sure if that's from today's game or there from the game the other day. But somebody lost a little bit of blood.
13-19 to go in this game. 2-1 in favor of Millburn. Millburn looking to go 8-3-3. Verona trailing by a goal. Has lost 2 straight, in danger of losing their 3rd straight. Puck in the corner. Here's Bellino. Has an assist. Leading scorer in the state. Comes out in front. Takes the shot, deflected, stopped in front. Another shot stopped. And finally a 3rd one stopped by Smalden.
Matty, I understand why your tongue is getting tied up. You just keep Mark Smalden on the tip of your tongue. He's the man of the hour. Again, 2 tremendous saves. The last one coming as guys were piling on top of him. He was falling back, but he held the puck outside. This is Bellino with the first shot, deflected. You see him bring the blocker up, 2 saves, 3 saves, and then the pile up in front.
After 2 periods, Verona had outshot Millburn 25-9, adding to their total here, but the scoreboard shows the Millers in front 2-1. Off the face, Blum can't control it at the point, but does a good job of bodying Milton off the play so that Milton would not have a breakaway.
Excellent play, Matty. You're absolutely right. Nice job to play the man in that situation.
Blum, just a freshman, plays football at Verona. Likes to play that aggressive game. Smalden chasing it down behind the net, ridden off the play by Springstead. Here's O'Neill along the near boards, looking to break out. His pass is intercepted by Milton. Has a man on the wing. Milton sends it on goal. Petruka can't control the rebound, but then covers up, and we'll have a face-off with 12:21 to go in the game.
That time, Claudine Petruka jumped on that rebound, and a good thing because Millburn was right there ready to pounce on top of it. Watch, nice interception right there by Tim Milton. Shot not particularly hard, but it jumped up in the air. And it was Chris Stemland cruising in for the rebound, but the junior was unable to convert as Petruka held on for the whistle.
Bellino and Smalden on the face, controlled by Millburn. Here's Smalden. Sends it in front. Milton fans on it, just barely got a piece of it. Frank Longo along the far side, flips it ahead for Bellino. Bellino with a burst of speed across the line and checked from behind, and the puck comes loose. Goodwin sends it in. We'll have a delayed offside. Now Bellino gets onside, and play will continue with 11:56 to go in the contest. 2-1 Millburn on top. Goodwin loses his edge, slips and falls. Gamboni picks it up. Longo and Gamboni combine along the boards. The puck comes free. Milton has it checked off of his stick by Skinner. Puck in the corner, no one's sure where it is. Now Milton says, let me go in and get it.
Again, nobody sees the puck.
Here's O'Neill, stolen by Milton. Milton tries to go to the backhand side, sandwiched by Goodwin and Longo. Smalden tries to center it, picked up by Bellino. Plays it off the board. Strickler tries to keep it in and does. But now the puck comes out. Bellino, 1-on-2, coming in on Jepson. And the shot goes off the side post. Jepson just winds it off the board, stopped at center ice by Skinner, backhands it in. Another delayed offside as Bellino now finally gets onside. Goodwin tries to flip it ahead, intercepted by Gamboni. Picked up by Boyd. Boyd across the blue line. Goes wide, backhands it, picked up by Cascone. Cascone with it once again, flips a high shot that goes off the arm of Smalden. Carter checked into the boards. Puck loose behind the net, picked up by Jepson. 10.5 minutes to go in the 3rd period. Millburn leading 2-1. Mads Jepson too far ahead for his Hillbilly teammate Chris Stemlin. Picked up by Blum behind the net, up along the boards to center ice. Jepson, cross ice pass, and this will be an icing, and will come down the other way for a face-off. And every time Jepson needs a blow, he just gets an icing and goes to the bench.
That's what he does. Or he gets the icing and then coasts for a little while. Figure it'll take somewhere between 20 to 30 seconds before they get to drop the puck again. But in the last shift that Chris Bellino had, he was hooked a few times and almost got the call. But it was just enough to slow him up, just enough to knock him off stride. Good defensive work by Millburn.
I mentioned earlier that Bellino had been shut out in 2 previous games against Hudson Catholic and Toms River East. He did not score a point in either of those games. He's had either a goal or an assist in every other game. Here tonight he has an assist on the Sean O'Neill goal, but he has been effectively shut down by this defense. Bend but don't break defense employed by Millburn.
Working well tonight.
Bellino in the circle. Cross-ice pass for O'Neill goes all the way through as O'Neill was hooked from behind. Here's Blum along the boards for Longo. Pass out to the point.
Bellino's going to go for a penalty. He's going to get the slash, and that's only because it was a retaliation. Just before he turned around and slashed Mads Jepson, Jepson gave him a little poke. Our official Dave Brown did not see the first one, and that's not a criticism of Dave. That happens many times. But the retaliation was very obvious as Bellino swung around, coming down with the stick right across the legs of Mads Jepson, and now he will put his team down a man with just 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the 3rd period.
Second power play opportunity of the game for Millburn. Bellino will sit it out for the slash. 9:50 remaining in the contest, and the state's leading scorer on the bench, or in the penalty box actually, for the Verona Hillbillies. Here's Chris Stemlin, the junior, centering it, goes all the way through, and it's picked up by Tommy Boyd. The freshman 1-on-3. Makes a nice move, cuts in, the shot is stopped by Smalden. Boyd likes to play aggressively, not afraid to take chances when he's a man down.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Verona rotating 3 lines. Boyd had a little more power, a little more speed in his skating. They're going to take this faceoff and move it outside, I got a hunch, because Boyd caused the whistle. But Boyd made a beautiful move to walk around Mads Jepson. Jepson possibly a little tired. We're going to take a look at that play. Full head of steam as he starts from his own defensive zone. Now watch, he fakes the slap shot, cuts to the inside, quick shot, but Johnny on the spot again. Mark Smalden bringing the pads together, making a great save.
Interestingly enough, you saw the difference on that play between a fresh Jepson and a tired Jepson. Would take the body normally. That time he tried to let the stick do the work and got beat.
That's correct. He's getting a little tired, and he's also trying not to put himself out of the play. When you throw a check, yes, you take the other person out, but you also take yourself out of the play. They're on a power play, and he wants to get involved. He wants to get this 3rd goal.
Neil Smalden's shot stopped by Petruka. 1:05 to go. Now breaking in is Gamboni, and Petruka comes up with the huge save.
A great save by Claudine Petruka. That time she looked at her defenseman and said, "Where were you?" She made the original save. The rebound came out. Lee Gamboni jumped on it, let a quick shot go. There we see the first save, and see her defenseman left the puck all by itself. Gamboni came in, one quick deke, took a shot, but that time Claudine played the angle well and smothered the puck.
Millburn with the man advantage for the next 58 seconds. Chris Bellino sitting it out for a slash. Slap shot by Jepson is a goal! Right between the legs, and it's 3-1. A power play goal for Mads Jepson, his 3rd goal of the year.
Mads Jepson's going to get credit for the goal, but I tell you who made this whole play happen, and that's Lee Gamboni. Lee Gamboni parked himself right in front of Claudine Petruka, and Claudine did not see that puck as it came in. She was screened, and it beat her to the short side. Watch as the puck comes around the board, stopped at the point. He lines it up, and look right in front. Claudine did not get a good look at that puck as the players from Millburn had crowded the front of the net. A 3-1 lead, a big penalty that obviously has hurt them, and Millburn is now in trouble.
Bellino.
Verona is now in trouble.
Yeah, down 3-1. Bellino out of the box, took the bullet that went wide. In front, Longo sends it across the crease. No one there. And it's cleared all the way down by Jepson. Icing waved off. 3-1 the score. 8:20 remaining in the contest. Neil Smalden and Lee Gamboni picking up assists on Jepson's goal. Gamboni behind the net, working hard again, taken away by Bellino. Bellino with O'Neill. Makes a nice move, walks in and scores!
Woo! Vintage Chris Bellino. That time he took charge himself. Again, went to the forehand, but that time he was able to get a quick shot off. Looked like he beat Mark Smaldone either between the legs or just outside the right pad. It's going to be unassisted. There we see, quick shot, yes, between the legs. What happened was it looked like he was going to carry the puck a little wider than what he did. Mark Smaldone extended the right leg, beat him back between the legs in the 5-hole, and the lead is now 3-2 with just under 8 minutes remaining.
45 seconds after Jepson makes it 3-1, Bellino makes it 3-2. And I think Bellino came out of that penalty box saying, look, I caused us to be a man short. I caused us to be down 3-1. I have been shut out for the most part tonight. Maybe we've been lackadaisical. I've got to take it on my shoulder. I'm the leader of this team, and I think that's what he went out to prove. That's what your key player does. There are certain players, whether it's the goaltender, whether it's your goal scorer, that say, it's a Reggie Jackson syndrome. I'll take the pressure. I'll take the limelight. I'm going to come through. Now, when you take that responsibility, you have to come through, and we've seen it tonight, a few players coming through. But it's that special player that says, give me the responsibility, coach, I can do it. Bellino on the bench right now as Verona looks for the equalizer. Boyd in the corner, tied up by Strickler. Strickler still fighting with Boyd. And now wound around the boards by Stemlin. In the corner, here's Peterson. That deeper Verona team showing its stronger legs at this point, Pete. Well, Millburn with trouble getting the puck out. Exactly. We talked about that earlier. We talked about rotating 2 lines and 3 defensemen versus rotating 3 lines and 2 full sets of defense. Now let's see what happens. This is where it's going to tell in the last 8 minutes. Bellino off the bench, comes in, sends it wide. Boyd centers it. Springstead comes in, flipping it. A deflection in front, and Boyd scores! That time, Mark Smaldone had no opportunity. The puck was deflected twice coming in. It came to the freshman, Tom Boyd, parked all alone on the right post, and he tucked it home for his 9th goal of the year. We'll take a look at this one. Nice job by Springstead to keep it in. Shot was deflected. And right there you see a happy Boyd and a happy Chris Bellino celebrating. And the freshman's 9th goal of the year to go with his 1 assist, 10 points this year. At the 8:17 mark, and so 2 goals in a span of 1:13, tying it up for the Verona Hillbillies. They were down 3-1, but they have come alive late in this contest. And I think their depth has been a big reason. Well, you have to credit the senior Brad Springstead. He kept the puck in at the point, put the shot on goal. That was eventually redirected so that Tom Boyd could tuck in the rebound. Here's Bellino, setting up, ahead for Longo. Longo, the freshman, tries to go around Strickler. Bellino has it. Strickler heads, or rather Longo heads for the front of the net. Centering pass goes through O'Neill's legs, and it's picked up by Milton. Has Gamboni, takes the shot that goes wide, a bullet that rebounds out in front. Nobody there except for Frank Longo. Longo tries to clear it, intercepted by Milton. The blast and a glove save by Petruka. And then Gamboni pushed down from behind. We'll have a face-off. We're going to have 2 penalties, Matty. We're going to have 1 penalty against Millburn, probably for a slash, because what he did, and that's Lee Gamboni, took a poke at Petruka after she caught the puck. And then the Verona player, seeing that somebody took liberties with his goaltender, put him into the net after the whistle, so they're each going to sit 2. All right, here's the replay. Watch right there as the first shot comes by Milton. You saw the poke, and then you saw Skinner flatten Lee Gamboni, and they'll each sit for 2 minutes, so they'll skate 4-on-4. Skinner for roughing, Gamboni for slashing.
Now, Matt, this is a regular season game, so if it ends in a tie, it will stay a tie. Should this be a playoff game, obviously, they would then do overtime. But we're looking at a little under 6 minutes. Our score tied 3-3, and now there's a lot of room out there with each team only 4 skaters on the ice.
Carter, Springstead, Boyd, and Blum out there for Verona. Here's Boyd with the slapper, deflected by Jepson. Jepson, Neil Smalden, Alex Strickler, and Tim Milton on the ice skating for the Millers. 1:44 left in the coincidental minors. 5.5 minutes to go in the game. 3-3-hour score. Millburn led 3-1, but 2 goals in 1 minute and 13 seconds, tying it up for Verona. Here's Springstead dropping it off for Boyd. His shot is stopped in front by Jepson, still loose. Boyd scores! Now the goal's going to be waved off. The goal will be waved off. A penalty is going to be called instead.
Fox, 4 maroon trip.
Springstead called for the trip, and so no goal, and what a break for the Millers.
Matt, we have this. We'll take a look at it right now. You're going to see right there as he takes his skates out, did not play the puck, but rather took the skates out and knocked down the defenseman, Mads Jepson. But again, it was Jepson who stopped the original shot, getting in the way, blocking it. And then unfortunately, Verona loses that goal, which would have been the go-ahead goal. And now we'll skate, not only lose the goal, but skate a man down. So it'll be 4-on-3 for another minute 22.
Goodwin, Bellino, and Boyd on the ice for Verona as we look at the 2 players in the penalty box for the Hillbillies. Jepson, Neil Smalden, Alex Strickler, and I think Tim Milton, but a timeout called by Millburn. So a good move here by Ken Smith. Not only does it give his team a breather, but it gives him a chance to set up the strategy. 3-3 tie, 5:12 to go in the 3rd period. 1 minute 22 remaining in the coincidental minors to Skinner and Gamboni. And Springstead now sitting it out 2 minutes for tripping, and the officials explaining to Springstead why he was called for the penalty.
Both officials tonight, veteran officials. The one fellow you're looking at there, Jay Butterfield, just happens to be the instant replay for the Devils at the Meadowlands. He's the fellow who looks at the replays to decide the disputed goals, whether it was in or not, or whatever the case may be. And the other fellow, Dave Brown, does lining in the Eastern League. So both fellas are well experienced, and until that play there, they haven't even been noticed this evening. But that's what a veteran official will do. He'll make the call regardless of the time on the clock or the obvious consequence. If it's the right call, he's going to make it, and it's exactly what Jay did in that situation.
You mentioned that Dave is working in the Eastern League. Is he following in the footsteps of another New Jersey and Pat DiPuzzo, looking to make it to the National Hockey League?
Pat, as you well know, somebody we had way back 1982, 1983 on TV3, back in the Bruce Beck days, way back. And Patty, the first fella from the metropolitan area to make it in the NHL as a linesman, now enjoying his 5th year.
Here's Neil Smalden with the intercept, but O'Neill does a smart job of checking it away. Bellino coming down, takes the shot that goes wide. 1:07 left in the coincidental minors. Here's a breakout pass from Milton, getting behind Goodwin, coming in on Petruka, and a beautiful save by Claudine Petruka, who backed up along with Milton and yielded very little ground.
Petruka played that very smartly. She came out to break down the angle. As the skater became closer, as Milton got closer and closer, she started backing up. It was obvious that Milton was not going to make a deke, but rather just try to pick an opening right there. She closed the pads as Milton tried to hit the 5-hole, and she held on for the whistle. Could have been the game-saving play right there.
4:48 left in the game. 58 seconds left on the Skinner and Gamboni coincidentals. 1:37 left on the Springstead penalty. Slapper, stick save made by Petruka. Blum tries to clear it and does. Jepson, Strickler, Milton, and Neil Smalden, the skaters for Millburn. Boyd, Carter, and Blum on the ice for Verona. Here's Milton from the circle, deflected by Blum behind the net. Neil Smalden with it. 33 seconds left in the or the man-up advantage, excuse me, the 4-on-3 advantage for Millburn. Puck in front. Jepson winds it behind the net. Strickler pinching in, plays it in front, intercepted by Carter, tries to clear it, cannot. Smalden with it, almost taken away. Smalden with the slapper from the point and deflected, and it was deflected in front by Tom Boyd, and Petruka was able to make the save.
Boy,
and she's talking to Boyd, saying, listen, you know, don't deflect it toward me.
No, boy, they were lucky on that play, Verona. Tom Boyd, the freshman, who has scored his 9th goal of the season a little earlier this evening. When you're in a situation like that, let the goaltender handle it. Let him or her take it all by himself. And that time, I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to knock it into the corner, but all he did was change direction a few inches. And good thing Claudine Petruka was concentrating and was able to hold on for the whistle. That could have been very dangerous.
6 seconds left in the 4-on-3 skating advantage for Millburn. And now the coincidental penalties are over, so it's a man-up 5-on-4 situation for 35 seconds. Here's Bellino in the corner. 3:41 left to play. Tied at 3. O'Neill backhands it into the corner. Man up for Millburn. 22 seconds remaining in the Springstead penalty. Gamboni on the ice. Fighting with O'Neill, flipping it ahead. Goodwin to center ice for Bellino. Sends it on ahead where Neil Smalden has it. Goodwin and Milton fighting for it, and here's Bellino. Across the blue line, gets around Neil Smalden. Jepson sizing him up, misses the check as Bellino is able to sidestep it. 3:10 left in the game as now the teams are at even strength. The penalty to Springstead is over. Gamboni pushing Goodwin down to the ice, and Goodwin shaken up.
Goodwin got sandwiched that time between the front and then in the back. He hit his head right where the glass starts again. There's a little section where there's no glass right by the penalty box. And what happened, he was leaning over the boards into that vacant area, and as he was being ridden down, and then he came to the abruptment, boom, right there.
Gamboni came over and talked to him, and Goodwin kind of shook his head, acknowledging that, yeah, it was not intentional, but man, my bell is rung.
Oh, yeah. As you see right there, his mask is crooked on his helmet from when he got hit.
Tom Boyd, the freshman, the breather on the bench. 3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes even left in this contest. 3-3-hour score. Millburn has never trailed, and in any game they've scored this year, they've at least tied. They have not lost a game in which they've scored a goal. Their 3 losses have come via shutout. Puck kept in. Backhander by Milton, chopped at it, and it goes wide. Mads Jepson. It's a nice job waiting for O'Neill to commit himself before he flips it ahead. Here's Bellino. Bellino cuts to the center ice, goes around Jepson in front, takes a bullet that Smalden is able to save. Bellino from the circle, weak shot. Smalden's able to handle it and cover up.
Something that Bellino's doing. We noticed earlier how he always goes to his forehand, always goes to his power side. But when he takes the shot, sometimes he goes back to the short side, which is the mark of a real goal scorer. Watch right here, the move he puts on Jepson, and then his shot is back to the side he just came from. In other words, to the trailing side, because many goaltenders will overcompensate and move with the skater. As he moves right to left, the goaltender will move right to left, and then you beat him back to the short side. That time, and has also a few other times earlier today, Mark Smalden has been able to drag that back pad and make the save.
Offside the call as Skinner was not able to keep it in on the far side.
But they're going to call intentional offsides and bring it all the way back. So the
face-off is going to come all the way back to Petruka's left with 2:18 to go in the third period. And that man has been a standout for Millburn. Mark Smalden, a senior captain, entered with a 2.4 goals against, and he has been tested with shots from long distance, in tight, deflections, screens, slap shots, wrist shots, you name it, and he stopped most of them.
And there's Claudine Petruka Also only allowed 3 goals this evening. This is where the goaltender is going to stand out. The last 2 minutes of the game, the pressure's on. This is where they have to be at their best.
Springstead sends it up into the neutral zone. Mads Jepsen, who has played a rock-solid game on defense, will track it down. The icing waved off. 2:02 to go in the third period. Gamboni just pushes it into the center ice. Puck comes back into the Verona end. Smalden for Milton. Tim Milton has his stick lifted by Boyd. Puck on the far side. Now Milton with it, tries to center it. It's steered away by Carter, and Boyd comes away with 1:42. Boyd across the line, has Peterson, takes the shot, and it just goes wide. He had Smalden beat.
He sure did. That shot went wide by about 2 inches. And again, what did he do? Moving from his left to his right, shot back to the short side, the area he just came from. That time, he did have Mark Smalden beat, but the shot missed its mark.
Had a big opening, but it just went wide. 1:18 to go. 3-3 score, Millburn and Verona. The Hillbillies looking to break a 2-game losing streak. Here's O'Neill. He's got a goal today, and a nice job done by Jepsen. Again, he stands between the man and the intended pass, and now we get a whistle way behind the action, and an offside is called. Jepsen's been rock solid. He stands between the man with the puck and the man to whom the puck is intended to go, or the keeper. And boy, he has just been very, very good today.
Smart player too, Matty. When you play 35 of the 45 minutes, you have to use your head. You can't skate all out all the time. You have to know when to turn it on and when to lay back, and he's done an excellent display of that this evening.
Gary Farisha now calls a timeout with 1:02 to go in the game. Millburn led 1-0, goal at 13:13 of the first period by Neil Smalden. Gamboni and Milton the assists. 30 seconds into the second period, Sean O'Neill tied things up. The assist to Chris Bellino. At 13:38, it was Tim Milton giving his club a 2-1 lead. Smalden with the assist. A power play goal in the third period at 6:19 by Mads Jepsen made it 3-1. 45 seconds later, Chris Bellino scored unassisted to make it 3-2. Then a minute 13 after that, it was Tom Boyd with the goal to make it 3-3, and we have stayed at 3-3 from that point.
And it was almost 4-3. We're going to take a look at Tom Boyd's shot that whistled just wide. Here we're going to see as he comes out of his own zone again from the left, moving across to his right. Now watch the shot, perfect angle. You didn't quite get a good look because the one player screened, but it didn't miss that post by more than 2-3 inches. That would have been the 4-3 goal that Verona was looking for. But again, here is crunch time. This is when you're going to put your best players out on the ice for the last minute and 2 seconds, and you're going to ask everyone to dig down deep and give it 110%.
Bellino will take the face-off for Verona. Neil Smalden, who has acquitted himself quite well on the face-offs, the sophomore, will take it for Millburn. Face-off controlled by the Millers, sent in by Strickler. Under a minute to go. 56 seconds remaining in the third period. Boyd on the far side. Here's Bellino. Oh, so dangerous. Head manning the rush. Into center ice. Across the blue line. Takes the shot short side that goes wide. Out to the point. Skinner's shot. Knocked down by Neil Smalden. 40 seconds left. Springstead at the point for Bellino. Centers it. No one there except Neil Smalden. 33 seconds left. Chance for Millburn here. Smalden centering pass. Too far for Milton in the corner. He goes to the ice as Skinner checks him into the boards. Here's Boyd looking for Bellino. It's behind him. 21 seconds remaining. Bellino has it. Has O'Neill. Wide open. Skating in. Matson dives and stops it with 13 seconds remaining. Bellino in the corner. Coming out in front. Bellino still with it. Takes the shot. Smalden makes the stop and then covers up with 5 seconds remaining.
Again, Chris Bellino showing you why he has 58 goals, or 59 after the one tonight. Excuse me, 58. He still has 58. He came out of the corner, faked one shot, then circled around, and was able to take a second shot. That time, you're going to see it right here, right into the breadbasket of Mark Smalden, and then he holds on for the rebound.
I said 5 seconds remaining. A second ticked off after I called to say 4 seconds left, and Claudine Petruca has been taken out of the net so that Verona can get an extra skater on the ice. Gary Faresian feeling that there's no way Millburn can win the face and flip it down in 4 seconds. So he'll take a chance here. 3-3 the score. Carter to take the face along with Gamboni. Now Jay Butterfield setting the players. 2 seconds remaining, and that will do it. And the Millburn fans celebrating on the far side, and who could blame them? A 3-3 tie. They're now 7-3-4. That man, Mark Smalden, playing a heck of a game in goal. And anytime a C Division team can go up against one of the better B Division teams, and Millburn's a good C Division team,
sure,
but play this well and come away with the tie, Ken Smith saying, nah, you know, it would have been nice to win it, but I think he's going to look back at this one and say, well done, gentlemen.
I think he's very happy with the tie. His team played the game plan that he wanted. Strong defense. They got excellent goaltending from Mark Smalden. Tremendous job on defense. There we take a look at Gary Faresian.
And he's not happy.
Not at all. He's in that big race. He's trying to qualify for the Hanshin Cup, and he has games coming up this week against West Essex, Paramus Catholic, Dwight Englewood, and Bergen Catholic. I should say in the next 2 weeks. And
now,
of course,
Paramus Catholic's the big one.
That's right, because Paramus Catholic is a point ahead of him in the standings in the B Division. So although he's not happy, Ken Smith has to be happy with the outcome of tonight's game, and it was exciting right down to the end.
Verona now 0-2-1 in their last 3 games. Millburn 1-0-2 in their last 3. 3-3 the final score. We'll take a short break. We'll come back with some final comments right after this.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
We're back at South Mountain Arena, where you have just witnessed a 3-3 tie between the Millburn Millers and the Verona Hillbillies. Peter, final thoughts.
Matt, we saw an excellent game this evening. Game plan of Millburn was to slow down and stop the powerhouse Verona team. They did an excellent job. Chris Bellino, only 1 goal this evening and 1 assist. He was not as effective as he has been in other games. As we mentioned earlier, he has had 3 games where he's had 6 goals in each game. Tremendous goaltending by Mark Smalden. Great defensive work by the junior defenseman Mads Jepsen, who also scored a goal this evening, the 3rd goal for Millburn. Gary Faresian has a lot of work ahead of him. He's trying to catch the 2nd place team in his division. That's Paramus Catholic, and he only has a few more games to do that. On the other hand, Ken Smith qualifying for the States for the first time with Millburn. They have to be awful happy.
Indeed they do, and let's credit a little bit Verona's resiliency, bouncing back. It was 3-1 after that power play goal by Jepsen. They could have packed in it at that point, but they put on the burst, scored 2 goals to come away with at least the tie.
Well, they definitely increased the pace at that point and really poured it on. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the last one, the one they really needed.
So that'll do it from South Mountain Arena. The final score, once again, Millburn 3, Verona 3. Thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on TV3.